reality of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and I'm back for a little bit. Hello, everybody. What's up? So I'm at work. Obviously, you can tell with the background, but this morning I woke up and I saw something on Court TV, and I was like, dang, this thing on Court TV, it was mixed. They mixed this interview that you guys probably might have seen by now. They mixed it into the trial of the lady that took Fabio's life for money. I can't remember her name, something, whatever her name. It doesn't matter about hers. His name's Fabio. Let's get justice for Fabio. He was a great guy, hairstylist. Everybody loved him. And this lady, his wife, took his life, cheated on him, and took his life for the money. She's on trial right now. Justice for Fabio, everybody. Hey, Sadie's mama, how you doing? So, as we know, the pretrial is 1 week away, literally a week away, you guys. So, and that's for the CSAM. We haven't really talked about that yet. So, hello, Donna. Welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you can. I'll be back on at 4 to go over this and also talk about, which we're going to talk about here today, is the pregnancy that probably is not a pregnancy. And this is how we know. Hi, Brittany Perry. How you doing? Elizabeth and Cheech. What's up? Thanks for being here. Mods that caught it. Carly, I don't see all the mods, but I gave you guys like 2 seconds. What's up, Gumby? How you doing? My girl. So yeah, later on when I come on, we're going to talk about the justice for Maddie. But yes, Fabio is the guy that I'm talking about, a different trial that's happening right now. Sementelli. It's the Sementelli trial. Lady murders her husband. His name is Fabio. Now they mixed this interview in with that, and I caught it like at 6:00 this morning. But then Court TV they took their 10-minute clip of Stephan Stearns and Madeline Soto case and put it out. That's all I was saying. Hello, Sharon Belko. Thank you for the gracious Venmo. I assume that you're going to want me to gift memberships later. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. What's up, Healed Soul? How you doing? You're very welcome. All right. Love it. Love it. Michelle, thank you for loving my channel. I appreciate you guys. Let's get down to it because we're going to have more time later on, but I wanted you to see this with me first if you hadn't already seen it. It just came out early this morning. And like I said, it came out with another interview, and then Court TV got smart and said, well, I better put this out all by itself so people can find it. So welcome. Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Last minute, I gave you guys like 60 seconds notice. All right. So it is Stephan Stearns fighting to remove the death penalty, but they're going to talk about Madeline Soto and why. Again, another reason. What are we going to do? Reason 111, like my book, why she's not pregnant. But then later today, we're going to talk about the audio of the children and them talking about her wearing a hoodie and can she be pregnant? Well, guess what, folks? The pre-trial's in 1 week and the other trial is coming up in September. and there are no charges of a pregnancy. What does that tell you, folks? There's not a pregnancy. All right, so we're going to talk about that right now with a former prosecutor that knows what he's talking about. Karina says, I'm the one that messaged you on Instagram about Steph's address. Glad you're here. Well, thank you for letting me know about that. I will definitely get back to you. That's awesome, Karina. Karina, we've been looking around at Steph's area, and you guys, Karina is talking about Jen Soto's potential hideout. So welcome, Karina. Welcome. I'll get back to you. I haven't got back to anybody because I'm knee deep in work and doing my house right now. So Undead Ramen, thank you for being here. I love your little emoji. Yeah, Satan Stearns. Well, this is more than about Satan Stearns, guys. And thank you, Rachel Burton. I should have put that in my title. Stephan Stearns fights to remove death penalty. Maddie is not pregnant, but we're going to talk about that later. We'll talk about it now. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it during the trial. We'll talk about it after the trial. We'll keep talking about it because people are still going to say what they say, right? So we're going to talk about that later. Let's watch this for a minute. Let's see what the people that know what they're talking about say. What's up, Sweetie Brooke Iyer? Good to see you. I should put that in the title because in this video it says CSAM trial coming. Maddie's not pregnant. There's no charges there. Lots of motions filed, motions in limine, and no charges regarding a pregnancy. Wah, wah, wah. All right, let's go. Got to watch this.
And charged with the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Stephan Stearns will be in court 1 week from today for a pretrial hearing. This week, he filed a motion arguing that Florida's death penalty is unconstitutional. Stearns' attorneys say that aspects of a Florida law that outline aggravating factors are overly vague and subject to being applied in an arbitrary and inconsistent manner. Now, Stearns is separately facing dozens of charges that he sexually abused Madeline.
And so you guys know this is for the CSAM that came first. Now, a lot of you guys may have watched this with Grizzly yesterday, which was cool. She broke down a lot of stuff. She's not a lawyer, but she's my person that I look up to. I say she's the queen of true crime, you guys. Now, he's doing anything to save his life. And what he's basically saying is he doesn't want them to walk into the courtroom and say, here's the man that murdered this little girl and was having sex with her, unwanted abuse and sex for the last 5 to 7 years, whatever it may be. That's what he doesn't want. Stephan Stearns doesn't want the truth to be out there to the jury. So that's all he's saying is they want to cover up and they want to tell lies. So if you don't really understand what all the legal jargon is, he's just trying to hide the truth in the verbiage and what they can do. So that's it. And absolutely that shouldn't be the case. Now, we know we're probably not going to get access into the CSAM case, but probably in the murder trial we will. What's up, Mr. Bot and Pink Stars? You guys do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and check your notification bells so you get notifications for everything. Here we go.
And we'll go to trial later this month on those charges. Let's get you caught up on the case evidence. Here's Court TV's Cody Thomas.
We know digital forensic evidence has been central to the investigation into the death of Madeline Soto and traveled to Osceola County, Florida to get a firsthand look at the crime scenes. What quickly became apparent is just how much surveillance video the prosecution should have. So we will begin right here at the Venetian Bay Apartments where Jen Soto and Stephan Stearns and Madeline lived. We'll pause right here just to get a scope of this this complex was. First and foremost, a security guard is out front, so no one can without having to check in with this guy. We see that a car right here was already getting checked when I was there a few months ago. Also, what we notice, cameras over here, and a big gate. This is not just a complex that anyone can roll into and roll out of. Now we'll move along to the back gate. Now this gate is where prosecutors say they have video of Stephan Stearns here yet again, more cameras going in and out on the.
Now, another thing is they're writing up all these documents, folks. You know what else they don't want? They don't want this getting mixed into the trial of the CSAM. They don't want the people that know that he did all the CSAM and all the evidence. They don't want them to see these videos of Maddie already dead in the car, because then they're going to know that not only did he do the CSAM, which many times people get light sentences for on occasion when they're a first-time offender. We know he's not a first-time, but that's what they're going to classify him as. So they do not want the jury to see this or hear this. They want to hide it under a rock like it doesn't exist. Thank you, honeybees, for the $9.99 super chat. Love your channel. Thank you. All right. And everybody else that supported the channel, thank you. Valley Girl says there's no charges on Jarvis either, but Naziah was definitely pregnant. But here's the thing. The judge called it out and they knew that she was pregnant. Nothing has been confirmed, Valley Girl, and the family said she's not pregnant. So there's a big difference with that, but I appreciate your input. You'll hear it in a little bit here. Arrest Jen Soto. Absolutely. Happy Wednesday. Welcome, Jen to Gypsy. Let's keep going.
Morning that Madeline went missing to the dumpster, also in the complex. What do we have? More cameras, even here looking at the dumpster. Now, what's important to note about this dumpster here is that we say they found Madeline's backpack and school-issued laptop. And also they say they have Stearns on video throwing those things away. This is around the time that she was found and declared dead. But what's important is this memorial is right in front of this area right here, because in these trees, in that thicket of trees, is where Madeline's body was.
And that's where she was, you guys. That's the third. It was 1, 2, literally 3 bamboo trees in. So I didn't know what those were even called. And he didn't say bamboo, but because it's like a bamboo kind of thing, you can almost see right through it. So when she was laying there, she was almost right out in the open. Yeah, what an idiot. But you know why? It's because he got a flat tire, Kylie. That's the only reason why he didn't get to make it to where he was going to make it. And he was also afraid that someone was going to pull up on him and say, hey, what are you doing? He had to get her body from his trunk to that thicket and then not get caught and hopefully not find her right away. But then he goes back that night, right? And he puts stuff on top of her, in my opinion. What's up, Cat TV? How you doing? And Hawaii Tosh, hey, thank you, Gray James. Great to see you. Thank you for our work. You're welcome. Let's listen up about them saying Maddie and probably not pregnant. And again, we have to say, in my opinion, but that little girl was right there. This stuff no longer exists.
Was eventually found by police about 5 days after she went missing. Now, of course, all this was leading up to the eventual arrest of Stephan Stearns in March of 2024, when police picked him up on sexual assault charges. Stearns was then later charged with the murder of Madeline Soto.
That was former state attorney in Palm Beach County, Florida. He is in private practice now, attorney Dave Ehrenberg. Dave, good morning to you and congratulations on your big move. I hope this means we get to see more of you.
Yes, Julie, great to be back with you. In fact, the first week after I went into private practice, I was teaching at Harvard Law School's trial advocacy workshop with Linda Kenny Biden, who was just on your show.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Joe Tacopina.
You were teaching there too. She was just, oh my gosh. We're going to have you two on the show too. If we can coordinate that. You're both such busy people. We'll try. But that is really awesome.
It's one big... Thank you. It's like 2 degrees.
Something I'll offer for the kids.
Come on, Julie.
Give them some practice. Oh my goodness. Okay, Dave. So let's start here. I want to start here with the choice prosecutors are making to try the sex abuse case before the homicide case.
Right.
What do you think about that move?
You know, it's interesting because usually you'd go for the more serious one first, because after all, the murder charge carries the death penalty. You could seek the death penalty on the sex charges under Florida's law, although it's a relatively new law and they haven't tested the constitutionality yet. So if this defendant, Stephan Stearns, wanted to challenge the death penalty as it applies to the sex abuse, I think actually he may have a claim there, but the state is not seeking the death penalty.
And you know why they're not seeking the death penalty for that, you guys? Because even though the evidence is overwhelming and it's an easy win, that's the point. It's an easy win, period, just to get them LWOP. But when you start trying to incorporate this new law that just came in of the death penalty and the evidence, and then who knows what he's going to say and what they have to combat why, in their opinion, they have a whole other trial. Now, they're probably not going to get into this trial that he took her life. If they were to combine both trials, then definitely it would just be a death penalty for both. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. And, you know, many times, if you guys watch Mandu, these guys they go on a rampage of CSAM and they get like 8 years and they're out in 4. I've seen worse things than Stephan Stearns and guys getting out in less than 8 years. So that's why. It's because it's an easy win. It's exactly what you said, Beach Bum.
For the sexual abuse, which perhaps is why they're going first. They think they've got him dead to rights on the sexual abuse. They're not seeking the death penalty. It's going to be easier and faster. Let's get that out of the way. And then when he's found guilty of that charge, they can use that as an aggravating factor to seek the death penalty in the murder. So that's why first with sexual abuse.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for that, because that was a head scratcher. When I saw them thinking, what? Why aren't they going with the homicide case first? And we know that's what he's so fixated on. He's fixated, of course he is, on potentially getting the death penalty here. Do you think the motion his defense team has filed could have some teeth when it comes to attacking the Florida law that's currently on the books?
No, that is a reach, and it's how desperate he is to avoid the death penalty, and that could give a little bit of satisfaction to those of us who think this guy is one of the worst, and the way he made Madeline suffer.
And you guys, he's very, very scared. I'll say allegedly. And yes, my Leo twin, Sharon, I'm glad you're here. There's no alleged, you guys. I have this giant documentation of all of the motions that they filed. Now, I showed you a lot of the motions and the paperwork, but when you look at it in one single document, motion after motion after motion after motion after motion after motion, this guy's scared. And he actually has a really good attorney for not being for being a public defender. She's fighting for him. Thank you so much, Kimber Smiles, for the $4.99 super sticker. He is scared, and we love that he's scared. I hope you guys love that he's scared, because later on we're going to talk about Maddie's little friends. If you guys already listened to it from Paula, great. If you haven't, go listen to it so we can talk about it later. Her sweet little friends, you guys, they're so sweet, and I'm sure that's how Maddie was too. I'm sure she was just this little sweetheart that was going through these things, and the little friends talk about her having a crush. As soon as I heard that, I said, there's the motive, guys. There's the motive, jealousy. I've said it the entire time. Now I'm talking about not the CSAM. I'm talking about we'll say smurder. They've already said it a bunch of times, but there it is. I've said jealousy for the motive. How many times? Either Jen's jealousy or Stephan's jealousy, or both. Right in my head, it just said, bam, when that friend said Maddie had a crush, and she said he was weird. She stopped talking to him, but she had a new crush. Right in my head, bam, that's it. There it is. Not only a huge red flag, what the little kids were saying about a weird guy that she had a crush on, they didn't know much about him, but also the fact that she had a crush on someone else that wasn't Stephan Stearns. Now, that would mess up that whole dynamic, you guys. If Jen Soto was providing Madeline Soto to Stephan Stearns, and they've got this dynamic set up where Jen's getting her needs met, Stephan's getting his met, and Maddie's being abused, and you take Maddie out because she wants to date someone else or do something else, and Maddie says that night, no more. I'm 13 years old, no more. I like another boy, there's a crush. She just messed up the dynamic that Stephan Stearns and Jen Soto have had for a really long time, and now the benefits getting taken away, and neither one of them likes that. So however you look at it, it's jealousy, it's taking away the benefits that they have. Do you believe it's a first degree? Absolutely. But hear me out when I say that dynamic is ruined if Maddie starts dating someone else. And I shouldn't even say someone else, because she can't date Stephan. Except in Jen Soto's mind, she can because the Woody Allen situation, you guys. My God, I'm glad this man's scared. I hope he's as scared as Ted Bundy when Ted Bundy was getting stuff smashed up his butt and his diaper put on when death row happened.
Allegedly is just so horrific. It's hard to even put your head around it. And now we see him desperately scared of getting this death penalty. So there's a little bit of schadenfreude there, I think, in what's going on. But I don't think he's going to win on any of these claims. These aggravators have been around for a long time, since 1996, and they're used continuously in capital cases. I use them many times as a prosecutor, as a state attorney. So the fact that he's now saying, after so many years of this, 28 years plus, that this is all unconstitutional, it ain't going anywhere.
Dave, thank you for that. This is helpful to know going into this as we're getting ready for trial number 1 to start just in a couple of weeks, if you can believe it. I have an interview clip I want to play for you now, Dave. This is from one of Madeline's.
And as you know, Karina, we can always agree to disagree on this channel. So whatever your opinion is about it is just as, it's exactly the same. It's not the same as mine, but it has the same relevance as mine because none of us know the motive and we're all guessing. So you say, in my opinion, I'm saying that's not the motive. She said, no, they would just DRU her, DRUG her, and she'll comply. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but it's got to be something else. Well, I hope that we find out. We don't have to find out, though. We don't have to ever find a motive. But in my opinion, I've always said jealousy. So, let's keep going because right now we're going to talk about it not being pregnancy. There's no charges. It's nothing like the Naziah Harris case where they know that she was pregnant and they don't even have a body. So, yeah, red rum, right? Yeah. So, all opinions welcome, and yours is just as relevant as mine, except I'm the one speaking on the show. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Soto's friend. And she's talking to investigators about how Madeline was wearing baggy clothing the weeks before she vanished. We know there's been a lot of action on the idea that she perhaps could have been pregnant. We know mom was questioned about that. So let's take a listen to what her friend said.
Did Maddie talk to you about?
And at 4:00, we're going to go over the audio. I already have it all set up so we can go over the audio and talk about the full audio. This is just a portion of it, but I love how Dave Ehrenberg just smashes the fact that there are no charges. There's no motions to say, let's not talk about the pregnancy. There's no charges. There's nothing, guys. There's nothing.
If she was feeling ill or sick or anything like that?
No, but I did notice that she was wearing more baggy clothes than usual. Usually her, I don't know if this is weird or anything. I didn't notice that. I'm a hairstyle person. But usually she wears hoodies that are baggy, not really that baggy. And then I know she started wearing more baggy clothes and more longer hoodies. I remember my friends did tell me, she did talk about her friend, her stepdad. But it was only, good things.
Only good things. Wow. Focusing in on just that part at the end there first. Dave, what's your reaction when you...
By the way, she did say her stepdad. So in everybody's opinion, that was her stepdad because that's what she called him, which is even more sick and twisted, right? Telling everybody, I'm on the phone with my stepdad, knowing that later on that night, you're going to be in bed with your stepdad in a way that is just unthinkable for us as moms. Pink Star says, I think her mom should be locked up too. My heart breaks when this girl does. She not happened or her as a survivor would know what it's like, right? Prayers for you as well. And you're absolutely right, you guys. Yeah.
Hear this child relate that to the officer.
That part shook me about only good things. Well, Madeline was a child and she was sleeping in the same bed with Stephan Stearns. And to think that maybe there was some sort of Stockholm syndrome there or something else. I mean, you can see that happening. It doesn't at all alleviate his culpability. In fact, you make it worse because you see the control he had over. This guy's in a whole lot of trouble. And he, I think, is going to be found guilty in both cases. And when he's given the death penalty, which I think is almost certain, I think extremely likely. The Florida courts are very conservative now, very pro-death penalty. So now this guy is dead to rights, metaphorically speaking.
Dave, thank you for that. Tell me, when we think about whether Madeline was pregnant, we still don't have an answer to that. I'm wondering,
Yes.
is this something that perhaps the state is withholding until trial? Do you think we'll get an answer to this at trial? I guess maybe the best way to ask it is, could she have been, and we don't know.
Florida, very broad defense can get just about everything from the prosecution. This is different than in federal
This
court.
is new today, Miss Deb H. This is actually new today. It came out this morning at like 6 a.m. my time in California. Must have been 9 a.m. This actually just happened. This is what's new moving forward, is that the pretrial is only 1 week away, and we're discussing all of the new motions being filed and all of the things that they don't want the jury to hear. They're getting in last minute things for the other trial. And yeah, it is new. That's what we're talking about today. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have come on here as in the middle of a day while I'm working. I raised 3 daughters and never was a pregnancy test in the house. Right. There was a bunch of girls in the house and they seemed old, but you know what, Rua? People are always going to think that until they're told no, until the toxicology or whatever that it is that comes back, or her autopsy, toxicology, until that comes back, or until you guys hear from the family member's mouth. I didn't even hear it from the family member. I heard it from the person that knew the family member that said she's not pregnant. They're the ones that have access to the paperwork, not me, not you, not them, not us, but the family has access to know right now if Maddie was pregnant, and they said no. So again, until I see documentation, it's just speculation. All right, what's up? Good to see you from Australia. And yeah, normally when I come on here during the middle of the day like that, or I do a pop-up, it's because something happened, or I just do I'm doing like a vertical to say hi and let you know what's going later on. It's very odd. I'm not saying she was pregnant. No, I'm not saying that you were saying she was pregnant, but we were talking about pregnancy. That's what we were talking about, is pregnancy. So, yeah, it is odd for certain people, but it's not that odd. A lot of my girls in chat have told me that they keep pregnancy tests they'll go in their closet and maybe there's pregnancy tests from a couple of years ago that they just forgot about. They went to the dollar store, they went to Target, and it comes in a 5-pack. They use a couple and they haven't checked their thing for years because they didn't move. So yeah, I'm Irish. You say, okay, well, maybe it's not an Irish thing. But a lot of people tell me, a lot of women say that. Now, that's not my case ever, right? If you know who I am, I'm not having pregnancy tests laying around. So what's up, Michelle? Good to see you. Let's listen to his answer about what does he think why does he think that she wasn't or not pregnant?
Where you have hide the ball, it makes it a lot harder to try cases in federal court if you're a defense lawyer. So if Madeline was pregnant at the time, I think we would know about it. The defense lawyers would know about it. It's hard to keep any secrets these days, especially with all the broad discovery rules that we have in Florida. So no, I think right now it's speculation. There's no evidence that she was, but it doesn't matter. Either he did the sexual abuse or he didn't, and the pictures on his phone are just appalling, so shocking that that's going to be enough, in my view, to lead to a quick guilty verdict.
Dave, thank you. And last question for you, please, before we have to let you go. Do you think that this case will actually go to trial? Or if there's any way there is some agreement for one or for both?
Well, I think there could be a plea agreement if he accepts life in prison for the sexual abuse, but I don't think it's going to happen. This guy seems to be a sociopath. I saw in a recent interview with his parents that they said that Stephan Stearns lied to them throughout his whole life. Yeah, this guy is a professional liar, alleged sex abuser, and alleged murderer, and he's going to go down. In a high-profile case like this, I think this is heading to trial, guilty verdict, and then the death penalty.
I love that he says that. And when you put it in that perspective, nobody wants him to get a deal. No one wants him to get a deal, and no one wants him to take a deal, because if he does, they're going to just brush it off and we're not going to know about any of the details, right? Documents are going to get sealed and we're not going to know things because he's a minor. So not only that, we're rooting for to have him in public being shamed for what he did and letting us all know what happened. I think that's why people are still on Watts Island, and I'm on Watts Island sometimes too, because we don't know the details, because the case was closed. It was swift. It was quick. Chris Watts took a deal, and we don't know a lot of the details. So we're sitting there trying to figure them out in our minds to this day, over 5 years later. All right. And Linda says, I'm sure she was used to having crushes, probably 6 year. This is Jen, not Maddie's text going in. She took it seriously. Maddie was dangerous for Jen. Interesting. All right. Let's finish this up, guys, ladies.
In the murder case. And I think he's going to be incarcerated until he gets the ultimate price.
Sharp analysis, as always, from you, Dave Ehrenberg. Thank you for making time for us this morning. And again, congratulations on your move into private practice. What a wonderful job you did serving the residents of Palm Beach County. I know you're missed. There, but fortunately for us, hopefully we get to see you a lot more now. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Julian. If I could plug my YouTube channel, Court Authorities, where I talk about true crime cases.
You have a YouTube channel now? How did I not know this? Oh my gosh.
Well, it was True Crime MTN, but we broadened our scope to law, politics, and true crime. It's on Court Authorities on YouTube.
All right. Court Authorities on YouTube. That's awesome. I like Dave Ehrenberg. Whenever I hear him, I'm always excited to hear what he talks about. And just know, you guys are why I'm here, why I can exist to people coming on. We're here to fight for justice for Madeline Soto in this case, but we're here talking about this stuff. So I always hope, as the topics get harder, none of you guys get offended by the topics and what my opinion is, because it's only my opinion. You don't have to believe my opinion at all. But when the truth comes out and the paperwork's there, then we can say, okay, here's what it is. In the meantime, it's all alleged, in my opinion, and we all respect each other's conversation. So Kimberly Smiles, again, thank you for the super chat earlier. I just have to say, I love your videos. I recently had a double mastectomy for breast cancer and truly look forward to your videos every day. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And all of you, Sharon, for everything you do, Foxy and your 420s, and everybody else. All right, I got to get back to it. I just wanted to let you guys know what's happening, what's moving forward. Mark your calendars, because next week we're going to pre-trial hearing, and things are going to start coming out. We just got 48 more documents through our FOIA. So thanks to Bree. I don't think she's here in chat right now, but they sent us a bunch of documents through the FOIA, which means there can be anything that's coming out today, you guys. No, please stay. I have to get back to work, y'all, but I'll be back at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern. Lots of new documents, lots of conversations, and not just conversations and, conspiracy ideas. We're talking about facts and what they have in the paperwork. So be ready for that later on. Bye for now. Love you, M, and everybody that contributed to the channel. If you can do me a favor to hit the like button on your way out, and then go ahead and share this with your friends. Thank you.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?